All right. This is
Season 5.
5. You're right. Episode 3, 4 walls and a roof. I don't know why that was hard for me to say.
I thought it was 3 walls and a roof.
Yeah.
Because Bob has
One less
3 limbs
leg.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the limbs are the walls
And the
of the
roof is
house,
his head.
which is the human body. Yeah. The roof is the head. Oh, so he's gonna lose his torso.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, yes, because his torso is what was bitten.
That's true. Okay, that's true.
It works. Okay.
So you don't like the way this one opens up because you think it's
No.
kind of confusing, right?
Yeah. Like, I've watched this show at least 4 times all the way through. And, like, this episode starts and it's, like, walkers against glass. Like, growling and, like, scratching at the glass. And I was like, wait, where the fuck is, like, where are we? Like, what is going on right now? What is taking place? And I was confused. And I don't know. I thought it was a confusing beginning.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I don't think I was confused because I remembered where we left off. Well, yeah, you're right, la-di-da. I showed la-di-da.
So, okay, I
deserve it.
remember that they were, like, eating Bob. I didn't remember that they were, like, next to this building.
Yeah.
And there was nothing in the previous episode about walkers being in
Weren't
the
there?
building.
Well, like up against the glass, I thought.
Maybe.
Well, no, I don't remember. I could be wrong. Maybe they maybe that was not featured in the last part. I'm not sure.
I don't remember it in the last
Yeah.
one, but I maybe I'm just not remembering.
But yeah, so this one starts off and they're eating Bob. Walker's on the glass. Gareth starts monologuing and like talking to Bob about cannibalism and
Okay, so this is where I think I got confused, where he said like babies were their favorites. Because like, help me remember, there's like 2 things that he says that I like mixed together.
So he says we think women taste the best because, and he's like, one of our group has this theory that it's because women have an extra layer of fat that they use for childbearing. Like, even skinny women have it, So, like, there's that.
Right.
And then I don't remember which one he says first, because then he also says, like, if a bear in the wild, if a bear is starving, it'll eat its cub, because then if the parent dies, the cub dies too, but if the parent lives, it can have another cub.
I think he said the cub thing first, and then he talked.
That's entirely possible, yeah.
And so I think I just, like, mixed those 2 together, and I thought they said babies tasted the best, and I was like, that's truly a new level of evil for them.
That's true. I mean, unfortunately, they do eat children and babies, yeah. Yeah, well, I think it's interesting because the bear thing is pretty much what this group said in the comics. Because except there it was like more specific because it was like these people who had eaten their own children and then become like professional cannibals. And then he like the guy, I don't remember what the equivalent character of Gareth is there, but it's like the equivalent guy, their leader, and he's kind of like saying that to like explain why they did that. And he's like, but he obviously doesn't believe it and seems like very remorseful and kind of crazy about like what they've done.
And then, like, he also says something, and I don't remember if it's here or later, but he says something about, like, it didn't have to be this way. We were going to give you an option, like, join us or feed us.
Yeah, and I have a problem with that because, like, I don't think I believe that. Like, they can't possibly have asked everyone that because
who's gonna
how
say?
many people? How many people would choose being eaten?
Right.
Like, even if they weren't willing to become cannibals,
right?
They would lie, and then like try to escape or like kill the termites or something. I think that it's like, I think if they tried that, they would have to reconsider that strategy pretty quickly, because it's like,
And is that
like everyone's said they want to join us. No one's volunteered to be eaten yet. I don't think this is working the way we intended.
Also, like, do they do that after keeping people in the boxcar for like a couple days to like scare them and like
Yeah.
deplete them of energy? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. That's a fair point.
Is
Like,
it
yeah,
like
did
this-
they like starve them? Well, no, because
Right.
then they'd be like, it wouldn't be good to eat them if
I
they.
know,
Yeah,
I was thinking the
so-
same thing. But also, like, this boxcar thing is definitely not the first time they've done that. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and I mean, like, based on all the stuff they had that they had stolen from people who they killed, like, it looks like they've eaten, like, I don't know, at least 100 people or something.
And so I would say they did not give them a choice, most
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah, and I mean, there were maybe a couple dozen of them total, like, that we saw in Terminus. There really weren't that many of them. Yeah, no, I question how much sense that really makes, because, yeah, like, I don't think very many people would just be like, well, I guess you're gonna have to eat me then.
Right.
You know? I think they'd be like, sure. Yeah, I'll be a cannibal, sure. So anyway, so they're eating Bob, and then, like,
Bob kind of goes crazy.
yeah, he starts, like, cackling, or I guess at first, like, they think he's, like, sobbing, you know? Like, they think, yeah, but then he just, like, starts laughing, and they're like, oh, he's gone crazy.
Right.
And then he's like, you don't know what you've eaten.
Right. He's like, tainted meat.
Yeah. He's like, I'm tainted
Tainted
meat. Like, yeah. Yeah. And so then they all start, like, spitting out his leg, and they're like, oh my god. And let's see, then we see
Sasha.
the people back at the church. Yeah, we
I
see
think they're
Sasha.
looking for Bob.
You're right. Yeah, they're out looking for Bob.
So it looks like Sasha, Rick,
Tyrese.
yep, I almost said T-Dog.
Very similar character. Yeah, so they're like, and then they're in the church, and they suspect Gabriel. They're like, what are you up to? And so forth. And yeah, they're just, Rick starts, grilling him and, like, tossing him around and rubbing him up against that thing, that, like, little fence, that, like, little wooden fence thing there.
Yeah, they definitely, like, suspect that he is a villain of some
Yeah,
sort.
because he's acting so suspicious, and there
Well,
was that
he
thing
makes-
carved on the...
Yeah, and he makes, like, those weird comments of, like, oh, I'm leading you to your death. Like,
Oh yeah, no, his behavior is just very, very suspect the
Suspicious,
whole
yeah.
time. Yeah, but then eventually he breaks down and he says, "Oh no, it was that my congregation tried to come here for safety after Atlanta was bombed,
Yeah.
and I was
I locked the
afraid.
doors."
I didn't let them in, and then walkers followed them and ate them all while they cursed me. And
Yeah.
apparently carved that into the church, like, while they're
Wow.
being eaten. I mean, yeah, I mean, apparently someone
well,
was like, I'm gonna make sure that if someone else comes along, like, there's gonna be a
Right.
record of this.
So I'm imagining that they were, like, outside the church, like, banging, like, let us in, and, like, someone carved this, but, like, all the noise that they're making, like, attracted the walkers. So the carving
I
actually happened
guess.
before the walkers.
Well, that's possible. Why would someone waste the effort? Because you said they were, like, trying to pry open the windows, like, they were trying to get in.
That's true.
Like, isn't there something more productive you could do instead of, like,
Just
because, like,
carving
if,
in the
like, that would
side
have,
of
it would have taken, I don't know, like, 7 minutes or something to, it would have taken,
Yeah.
like, but, yeah, it is possible that happened before. I suppose it's possible that someone survived and came back later and did it also. I mean, I don't think that's the most likely, but
Third option.
yes.
One of them becomes a walker, but is like a stealth walker that still has some brain functionality. And the walker carves it in.
No, that is an interesting idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not sure about that, but that is an interesting idea. Yeah, so basically, and then Gabriel, like, breaks
Confesses
down,
his
and he's,
sins.
and they're like, oh, okay, I guess you're probably not with them. And then they hear, I think I don't know, it was a car, but they hear something outside, and then they run out there, and then Bob is on the lawn, and they like go and get him, and walkers just like start, like I think okay, like because the termites like just dumped him on the lawn, and like he could have easily, I mean I know they probably didn't really care that much one way or the other, but he could have easily been eaten by walkers. Like, you know, because there's some walkers like right there, and like they have to like run out and start shooting them, and you know, like get Bob inside right away.
Yeah, before like the group finds him, and then they wouldn't know that it was.
Like, what if they were, I don't know, like playing a board game in the back or something, and they like didn't hear, and then it's like, oh shit, like what? Okay, I guess Bob's dead now. He's been eaten. Fully.
And then they also didn't they paint like a...
Yeah, they painted the A thing from like the train car. Yeah. You know, which again, like I don't know. This show has a baffling like someone involved in its production like has a weird obsession with like these letters.
Yeah.
That I don't know what they were going for with those, but. Yeah, so then they get Bob inside, and they're like, "Oh my God, someone ate your leg!" And then I think he tells them, "Oh, it's okay, I was bitten anyway." Right. Like, you know, it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, and so then they're all upset about that, and then from this point on, like they're kind of just all like, "Oh shit, what do we do?"
Right, and Abraham's in like full-fledged Washington mode.
Yeah. And I think Eugene does not, you know, he's like, no, we got to stay here for safety and, you know, so forth.
Just a bunch of arguing, like,
yeah.
Do we go? Do we stay?
Yeah, it's just a lot of back and forth about what are they going to do. Like, should they go after the termites? Right. Should they, like, stay and defend the church? Like, what, you know?
Should they just find a vehicle and go to Washington? And Bob's dying.
Like, yeah. Sasha's taking care of him, and they're like, yeah, they're just kind of, he's like, it's okay, I'm at peace with everything, and yeah, and then just like more arguing, more discussion about what they're gonna do, and then eventually they say that they're gonna go after the termites.
Right.
Like, they're like, okay, you know, Rick and like I think most of the others are like, okay, we can't stay here. Like, we're gonna have to go hunt them down. And so then they leave, and then the termites show up, and they go into the church, and they're like, hi, where are you guys? We want to eat you.
And Gabriel's like hiding like a little coward.
Well, I mean, he does have like the kids with him too, and you know,
does he? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because then they're like hiding, and then I think Judith cries, and they're like, "Hi, we're gonna come eat you," you know.
Because babies taste the best.
I don't think they say that, but but yes, but you know, yeah, but yeah. So and then they're like, "Oh, there you are," and then they're gonna try to get them, and then bam, it's a trap. And then, like, from the darkness, like in the surprise motherfucker, from the front of the church. Oh, what were you gonna say?
We're show jumping.
Yes, a little bit. And yeah, so like, and then it was the whole thing was a trap, which is surprise motherfucker. And yeah, and then they like shoot the termites, and they're like, drop your weapons. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna try to get out of this trap. And then they shoot, they like keep shooting them, and so then the termites surrender. And then Gareth is like going on another like weird monologue about how like we tried to help people, it's not our fault. We just clearly we had no choice but to become cannibals. Right. Like they're like, come on. You would have done the same thing. Like, there's no other solution to the situation we found ourselves in.
Auditioning for that role, they must have just done a lot of monologues.
Yeah, I think so. And then at the end of it, he's like, I guess there's no point in like begging for mercy, or we could like, you could just let us go. Like we'd leave you alone, like you never see us again.
Right.
Like, And then Rick's like, he's like, but you'd eat somebody, wouldn't you? Like, you'd do this to anybody. And then Garrett's like, but you didn't shoot us. There must have been a reason for that. And Rick's like, didn't want to waste the bullets. And then they, and besides, I already made a promise to you. And then he starts hacking at them, and they all kill the termites with their melee weapons. And then the termites are dead.
And I like that Rick tries to justify it. Like, I'm just protecting someone else from being eaten by them. Like,
Which is true.
I mean, it is true, but it just goes back to my, like, whenever he asks those questions, like, how many people have you killed? Like, he doesn't know at this point how many people he's killed.
No, that's true. Oh, no, I mean, he is generally kind of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's definitely true. Yeah, and then, termites are dead.
Yeah, I think after that, that's when Bob is on his deathbed, and everyone's going in and saying bye to him.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all paying their respects to Bob, and then
I think Sasha's the last one that gets to talk to him.
Yeah. And then he dies, and then she's, like, gonna stab him in the brain, but I think she can't do it. And then Tyrese is like, I'll do it for you.
Which is pretty surprising, because Tyrese has been...
like, increasingly...
unable to...
wimpy.
Yes.
I mean, even just, like, anything, like killing walkers or just, like,
Yeah.
any, he's, like, becoming increasingly neutered as time goes on. Maybe he found some, like, chemical castration drugs or something, like, and for some reason started taking them.
But then he's able to...
That's my new theory.
But he's able to kill Walker Bob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. So he puts his knife in Bob's brain, and then they're all like, okay, what are we going to do? And, the ones who are going to go, they're going to take the church bus, like, and go with Abraham to Washington. So, like, I think it's like about half of them.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, we'll go to Washington. That's fine. Rick and several of the others do not want to go, though.
Yeah.
And, but Abraham does leave him a map where he's, like, showing where they're going to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, sorry, I was an asshole. Because they got in, like, a fight earlier when they were under siege from the termites.
And then Rick goes over and is helping Sasha...
Tyrese.
Oh, yeah.
That's not Sasha.
I know, but, like, wasn't Sasha doing it before?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Was she? Oh, okay. I guess I don't remember that.
So Sasha was working on, like, at least making the crosses.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And so Tyrese is digging graves.
And I think it's weird. Like, apparently he's digging graves for the termites also.
Right. Like,
it's got to be the chemical castration therapy that, like why would you do that?
It only makes sense to dig a grave for Bob.
Right. Yeah, because then, but he's already started on a second one, because then Rick, like, comes over and starts like digging the second one, starts helping him out with it. Like, I guess he's just, like, trying to do the right thing, but I think it's insane for one thing, he's going to suffer heat stroke. Like, wearing this outfit, like, in the heat.
Tyrese.
Like, yeah, exactly, Tyrese. Because I really don't understand, like, almost the entire time that we see the character, he's wearing this, like, wool cap. And, I mean, I think he takes it off, like, at least once. Because I remember, I thought the actor must be bald under there, and that's why he never takes it off. I thought, like, that's gotta be why he's always wearing it, like, in any circumstances, like, no matter how hot it is, whether it's day or night, or, like, whether he's, like, sweating, he's, like, drenched in sweat, like he is while digging this grave.
Right.
But apparently not, like, because then I remember when he takes it off, like, he's not bald. So it's just a mystery. I really don't. I would like an answer. I have no idea why he always has this hat on. But
yeah.
So he's gonna like pass out from digging what, like 6 graves or something? I mean, there were like half a dozen termites. But anyway, and so Then towards the end, it's nighttime, and Michonne is out on the steps of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, Gabriel comes out there, and he's like,
I can't sleep.
yeah. Mm-hmm. She's looking all intense, and then she sees something, like, shuffling in the bushes outside, and then she goes over to investigate, and it's Daryl.
Yeah, he,
And
like,
then
pops
also,
out.
and then I think Carol follows.
Well, we don't see Carol.
Oh, we don't.
No,
Is that
no,
the
no.
next episode?
Well, yeah, because so like,
Oh
Michonne
no,
asks,
you're right. You're
"Where's
right.
Carol?"
Yes, that's
and,
what it is.
And like Daryl turns behind him. He's like,
Yes.
"Come out!"
Right, because it's someone else who we
Right.
don't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Right.
it's someone
And then-
else who we don't see.
Right.
Uh huh.
And then that's the end of the episode. It's a pretty boring episode.
It is. It's pretty boring.